Hey you guys, it's Keturah and I'm back with another video, and today we are talking about everything sickle cell. So sit back, relax, and get your notebooks out because I'm about to give you the rundown, but you know it's going to be funny too because we're going to keep it real over here. So first of all, if you're new to my page, thank you guys so much. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. This sounds like a whole commercial, right? But don't forget to do that. Hit the notification bell so you know when my videos are popping up and you don't have to question it. Thank you guys to all my subscribers. I see you guys and it warms my little heart up and it lets me know I'm doing something right. Okay, I'm doing something right. So if you want to support me, all you have to do is simply subscribe. It's that easy and it's free, and I definitely appreciate it. And I know my son does because he thinks I'm an influencer, but I'm a mini influencer or something like that, saving lives or whatever. And if you're an OG, you guys know you have my heart. You guys have been there with me from the struggles to the bustles to the ups to the downs, and I appreciate you guys. So with that being said, let's get into everything sickle cell. First of all, do I have to give you the rundown about what sickle cell is? 9 times out of 10, if you're watching this video, you know what sickle cell is, but I'm gonna give you a little spiel or whatever. Sickle cell is basically your cells for a normal person is circular. Ours is a sickle cell shape, like a little crescent moon, and when it gets stuck together, we get in pain, which is a pain crisis, and the blood cannot flow, which causes us to be in pain. And as you can imagine, blood flows everywhere in your body, so you can be in pain almost anywhere. For me, my pain tends to be in my lower back and my legs, and occasionally here and there my arms, but not, like I said, legs and lower back. That's it. I do not have a port. But some people who have sickle cell, I know y'all don't like to be called sicklers, but that's what it is. So don't take offense to it. That's just my, you know, little shortcut to it. But people with sickle cell have ports. Some of us are in wheelchairs. Some of us cannot walk. Some of us have hip replacements, and the list goes on and on. Sickle cell does different things to different people. We are not all alike, but then we are alike, if that makes sense. At the end of the day, we go through pain. A lot of us have to go through blood transfusions. Some of us live in the hospital. Some of us don't see the hospital a lot, like myself. And a lot of us are advocates because we had to be. With that being said, I know you guys like to know a lot about me and my journey with sickle cell, and this is me being very vulnerable and transparent like I've never been before, because I feel like you guys need that help. And a lot of you guys have been DMing me a lot of questions, and I thank you guys for that. And I responded to you guys, and I told a lot of you guys I'm going to make a video because I just think it's easier. Of course, you guys know I respond to you guys through my DM. So if you have any questions, my link is down below where you can DM me on Instagram and ask me any questions. If you just want to like vent to me, I'm there because I know what it's like to feel like you don't have anyone, even if you do have someone, or just to be confused and there's not a lot of information. There's a lack of information about sickle cell. On certain things, you know what I mean? They tell you the rundown, like what I just told you, like it causes pain, circular shape, but they don't tell you like the everyday things, you know, like how do I work with sickle cell? How do I have sex with sickle cell? How do I try to have a baby with sickle cell? Like the real questions, like how do I do motherhood? How do I clean my house? Like you guys literally ask me every question under the book, and I'm here to let you guys know. So with that being said, I got a lot of questions. Thing is happy with questions, and I'm gonna read them. So I think I did everything so far. My head is like everywhere when I do these videos just because I don't write down a question. I just try to keep it like really cool, like we're having a conversation. I want you to feel like I'm in your room basically talking to you, kind of like a therapist or something like that, a friend, family member, whatever you see me as, I am. If you hear it get loud in there, my son is being entertained by his uncle, and that's probably one of the greatest blessings I could ask for, so I'm not gonna complain. So turn this volume up a little bit, okay? Because if you're a single mother like me, you know what it's like to have someone entertain your child other than yourself. Okay, so, all right, let's get into it, okay? I had to I was sick, like about a couple weeks ago because my brother had got sick and I got a cold from him. Then my period had knocked me down, and then I got acupuncture for sickle cell. That's a whole different conversation that we're gonna have, because I do these like research studies to help people who do have sickle cell find alternatives for what can help us, you know, holistic or non-holistic ways. I do questionnaires, you know, to see if like the stress is stress one of the factors, which it is. And I do have a link down below to the first stress test that I ever had. So I tried acupuncture. Baby, it is not for me because it threw my whole chakra, my whole body out of whop, and I just decided that's not for me. With that being said, okay, so my first one I'm gonna address is, hi, my name is blank and I just watched your sickle cell video, thank you so much, about EvenFlo. I was wondering, how do you manage your sickle cell and working? I'm 17 and recently just got my first job. I was admitted in the hospital last week and I just came home on the 3rd. I am back at work now, but I'm always in pain now and IDK what to do. So first of all, thank you guys for watching my video. A lot of you guys have watched my EvenFlo video and I appreciate that. So with sickle cell and working at 17, I am now 31, and when I was 17, I was just, what was I doing at 17, Lord Jesus? 17. I went to college when I was about 17, 18. So I was juggling too. I was working at TJ Maxx and Olive Garden. Yes, I was working at Olive Garden first, and then I switched over to TJ Maxx. So I was juggling both. But at that age, juggling for me wasn't too hard because living with sickle cell and just being in high school, I was the student who had to learn very quickly that if we're on chapter 1 of a lesson, to be on chapter 3, just because you never know this thing called sickle cell is going to knock and be like, hi, you're going to be out of school for about a week or 2 or a month. So I always just stayed ahead of the game, and that's one of the things I can recommend. I know a lot of us have the option, especially, I don't know if you're in high school or college at this age, but if you're in high school, like I said, it's important just to tell your teachers. I know I would do that every day. I would wait. I would be really nervous when I was in high school. I would like feel people out, teachers and people. I always feel people out till this day. I don't like to be vulnerable ahead of time because you just never know with people. Personal issues, pray for me. But yeah, so I would always feel my teachers out, and it would take me about a week. I would literally wait about a week, and I'd be like, you know, everybody would leave the classroom and I'd be like, hi, my name is Keturah and I just want to let you know that I have sickle cell, and you know, soft-spoken voice, but I would be, you know, tell them like, you know, I can't be out of school. I will always have a document, and I do not do this for any type of, well, I don't know the word, I'm going blank, guys. Listen, I had Coviana and COVID had shot my memory, Jesus, so forgive me if I do and my words don't sound right and I sound ignorant. I'm really smart, I think, but so I'd be like, hi, my name is Keturah, I have sickle cell. I always have my doctor's note. I'm not using my sickness as a crutch, but I would like a little bit, you know, if you could be lenient with me in certain areas. If I fall asleep, I'm not trying to be disrespectful. It's probably because of the medicine, or I just had a hard night. So I would try to be as transparent as I could with my teachers. Some of them understood and some of them didn't give a god dang. Okay, they didn't give a god dang. They were like, you look fine, I don't know what you're talking about, I don't know what sickle cell is, I'm ignorant AF, and you're gonna do this work, and if you're not here, you're not here. So it's a lot of times that my mom had to fight for me, thanks mom, or I had to fight for myself. And one of those stories where I do a quick story to tell you guys what I went through. Maybe you can relate, maybe you can't, and that's why I'm telling you guys this, to be relatable. I think, what was my class? Religion. It was religion class. I was doing really good. I was always on the honor roll. Proud moment. You know, you gotta tap yourself on the shoulder. Anyways, if you don't do it, who will? But yeah, I was always on the honor roll, and I didn't like getting C's because C's means that I could have did better, and B means I was close to an A. So I think I was holding a B in this class. No, I was holding an A. Sorry, I was holding an A, and I had missed maybe a couple of days, and I missed. It was a test that I had missed. And I went up to my professor and I was like, hey, I know I missed this test, like, can I take it over? Not professor, teacher. I was in high school. And he was like, no, you can't take the test over, but you'll only drop to a B. Only drop to a B. So it wasn't just that I could only drop to a B that affected me. It was because I was sick. You're telling me I can't take my tests because I was sick. It's not like because I didn't feel like coming to school. It wasn't because I was late. It wasn't because I put my head down on my desk and gave up. So I decided to fight this. This was my first, I feel like, real stance of advocacy in my life. So I pretty much cussed him out in the nicest way, and I was like, I'm going to take this test over. You're going to let me take this test over, and I'm not going to be this, I was in a predominantly white school in Lecanto back in those days. It was like about 10 of us in my graduating class. And I was like, I'm not gonna be the little black girl that you just think it's okay to give a B, because I'm pretty sure, I don't want to make it racial, but back then it was kind of racial. But I'm pretty sure that you would give, you know, Timothy or something a chance to get that A. So I'm not settling for less, and you have to fight me about this. That's pretty much how it was. So I remember telling my mom, and my mom was like, what? And my mom was like, I'm like a mini version of her. And she was like, oh, okay, like I'm writing letters, like my mom's the right letter queen, and I love that. I'd be like, I'd be in the background like, my mom's gonna get you because them letters, baby, they be dressed up in a suit and tie, okay? It be real Vogue like, okay? When my mom write letters, her diction when she talks, I just be standing by like, I remember being little and like the doctors and nurses not taking me seriously, having me wait in that emergency room for longer than 2 hours. When my mom started throwing around the word Jacob, now you made her mad. Now she's calling numbers. Now she's throwing around her job title. Now you know we ain't stupid. So that's how it was for me growing up, really having my mom and then throwing the baton to me. So seeing my mom advocate for me taught me how to advocate for myself and not to take nothing less than. And I'm telling you, do not take anything less than. Do not let them treat you anything less than. My mom said something to me, I don't know when she said it, but it has stuck with me throughout my relationship life, friendship life, professional life. People will only treat you how you allow them to treat you. So if you allow these nurses and doctors to treat you like you're some drug-seeking addict, they would definitely treat you like that. Because back then, I can tell you, a lot of the nurses did it out of their heart. I remember having beautiful nurses and doctors and male nurses, because I grew up in New York and I went to Mount Sinai in Manhattan, and they'd have my arm in the little board, because you know when you in pieces they take care of you so much more. We'll talk about that. And they'd be like, okay, on the count of 3. But I was never the type to look away. Like, if you're gonna give me this needle, and my mom, I promise you guys, we're gonna have to sit down with my mom, she'll tell you, I always look, they'd be like, look away. And I'm like, no, look away. I'm not looking away, give me the needle. And yeah, they'd be like, hold your arm straight. And I was a believer, baby, if you bent your arm that it would go out of place. So till this day, my arm be straight. I'd be in the hospital for 7 days, and I'd be coming out that hospital like, oh, because I hold my arm straight till this day. Give me the board. You know, you got to throw a little character in there. You guys will understand. I know a lot of you guys are young moms with you know, kids who are like 1 and 2 and they haven't gone through that yet, but you're gonna know what I'm talking about when I talk about the board. Come back to this video and let me know. So yeah, my mom just was always there advocating for me, not playing around with these doctors, having my medicine on the low just in case. We got a lot of things to talk about. I might have so much videos. And that taught me to do the same. So you live through what you see, and you just know not to tolerate anything less than. So that was a lot in my high school, just fighting for myself, staying ahead of the game. Like I said, it was on chapter 1, I was on chapter 3. And I was just always ahead of the game, just because you never knew when I never knew when I was going to be sick. When I started to work, I had to realize that I was very money hungry when I was younger, because I wanted to get out of my household. Not that my household was bad or anything, but there comes a time in a young woman's life when she's like, I'm gonna do what I want to, and I'm not gonna have curfew anymore. And that was my thing. I was a fast ass. Not fast sexually, but fast as in like I wanted to just explore life, and I wanted to grow up real quick, and I regret it because it's hard out here. But yeah, I remember like stacking up $3,000, going to Tallahassee and looking for an apartment, and realizing that I was gonna go to Florida State, but I went to TCC first, and I was like, yeah, I'm getting up out of here. I got $3,000 and I'm ready to go. And I left. And yeah, that's when real life starts to set in. Like, my mom wasn't there to make me any more milkshakes and smoothies, and to ask me if I took my folic acid, and to make sure that I was drinking my water all the time. And I feel like that's the difference between being in high school and college with sickle cell. Like, and I'm only speaking for myself, because I know a lot of you guys don't have family members, or you don't have people to advocate for you guys that much. So I'm trying to like talk on 2 spectrums. I'm trying to talk as a person who has had family, but I'm also trying to realize real life when you don't have anyone around you. So I'm giving you the 2 parts of me. So high school, always had my mom there for me, but in college, I left. So I'm in Tallahassee. My mom is back in I think she was still in Citrus County, so that drive is like a 3-hour drive. So I was 3 hours away from my mom, and she wasn't coming up to see me all the time, and that's what I wanted. I absolutely wanted that. And if you're watching that, mom, I love you, but you know, it's time for me to grow up. But I didn't want to grow up. Still don't want to grow up. I'm back. You got your baby girl. And so yeah, I remember going to Tallahassee feeling liberated. I'm in college, you know. If you from Tallahassee, Florida State, fam, you know. It was a wild time back then. In, you know, graduated in 2009. I went there 2010. It was a great time to be alive. Yeah, it was. Roll it back, because right now Earth is ghetto. And I wasn't really drinking my water like I was supposed to. I was working a lot because I'm money hungry, and I had roommates at first, and then they snitched on me because my boyfriend came to live with me, and they were haters. Later on I found out, like, they act like they cared, but they didn't care. They didn't have any men, and I don't care if they're watching this, y'all were haters. And I coming home to be evicted from my roommates. Like, yeah, we told the police officer that you had another person in here living. And I'm like, he's living with me because I have sickle cell, you whores. Like, you guys know this. Like, literally, he was the love of my life at that time, and he literally moved up because he knew I had sickle cell. And he was like, okay, like, I'm gonna live with you, I'm gonna go to work, and I'm gonna come take care of you. And that's when I knew what love was at that point. Took it for granted, but I knew what love was then when he did that for me. I knew what love was when he wiped my booty, y'all. I knew then. Like, I couldn't walk, and yeah, that boy loved me. But anyways, long story short, so I had to move out, and we got a better apartment. Anyways, luxury, okay? It was really a great apartment. Love it. Capitol Hill, I think, something like that. Something Capitol. And at that time I was paying $700. Now y'all know I'm old if I'm saying that rent was $700, okay? But it was beautiful, 1-1 balcony. Freaking loved it. And everybody would come to my house, y'all. We party, hang out, drink, Bob Marley. And I just wasn't living the best life. I was eating fast food because, you know, when you buy Marley, you get munchies, and you will settle for literally anything. You'll settle for McDonald's at 12 a.m. to 2 a.m. And I was eating Dairy Queen because it was like right across from me. So can you imagine, like, I wasn't putting anything into my body. Nonetheless, Tallahassee is one of the worst places for a sickler to be because their hospital is trash. And I literally got into an altercation with a nurse because I was in so much pain. I remember I had just come from like the club, and my body, no, not the club, I'm lying. I had come from a pool party. Y'all, let me tell you about this real quick. Like I said, sit back, relax, we just chilling, we just talking. I went to this pool party, y'all. Had no business being in the cold pool because sickle cell and cold just don't get along. Cold weather, cold pool, cold showers, we don't do it. And at first I was like chilling and relaxing, being cute on the sidelines, and everyone's in the pool, and I'm like, damn, I really want to be in the pool. I think I was like, there was some guy that I had liked there or something, and I was just like, you know, being cute, whatever. So I went into the jacuzzi because jacuzzi's warm. I thrive in the heat. So I was in the jacuzzi chilling, and I think it was like over an hour, and I'm like almost dying at this one. I'm like, damn, it's hot. Like, no one's in the jacuzzi with me. Everyone's just like, hey girl, like, because they can, how the pool and the jacuzzi was, like, you can see each other from there, and they were like, girl, get in this pool, it's hot as hell, like, da da da. My little hair sweating out. I was like, no guys, I'm totally fine, I'm good, like, why don't you guys come in here? But they weren't stupid. You live in Florida, it's hot, it's the summer, like, why are we going to the jacuzzi? So anyways, I really wanted to impress them, and at that point I wasn't as vocal, god dang it, with my sickle cell as I am now. So I would tell like 1 or 2 people, but I didn't really describe what sickle cell was. I'd be like, yeah, I just got sickle cell, but I'm good. And they were like, okay, like, yeah, you look fine, you know what I mean? There wasn't like a person that I really like besides my boyfriend at that time. I didn't really tell anyone in details. Oh, and my my manager, god bless him, RIP, James. Oh my god, I love that man. But nobody really knew, you know what I mean? So anyway, I got peer pressured to going into the pool, peer pressured by myself mainly, and my body started to, you know, do the little Kim, insert now. Yeah, my body was doing the little Kim on me, and I still was playing it off. I got out of that pool, and I literally, ooh, you know, I'm not gonna bump my plant, I'm so animated. But I literally got out, and I was like my body was rocking me. And I immediately tried to hop my little ass in the jacuzzi thinking that would work, but the sickle cell had already settled in. Like, she was like, oh, you want it to be grown? We're gonna be grown now. So the sickle cell had already settled in, and I couldn't hold it no more. Like, she was like, no, you're gonna tell the truth to these people. So I was crying, bawling, and everybody's like, what's going on, what's wrong? I'm like, I have sickle cell and I'm going through a pain crisis. And they're freaking out. They're like, oh my god, what? I'm like, I can't walk my legs. Like, I literally just dropped, just gave out, couldn't walk. It was horrible. So I remember my friends rushing me to Tallahassee Memorial, I think that's what it's called. I don't remember because I don't want to remember nothing about that Tallahassee hospital. Okay, they need to burn it down. And they got a wheelchair because I could not walk. Body froze up like on ice. Body pain, rocking, literally rocking. I am crying, wailing. Okay, damn near screaming. You think I'm getting chased by a murderer. That's how loud it was. My friends are freaking out there. I remember just them, like, I was like, my head was like that, so all I could see was the lights, and they were just pushing me really quick with the wheelchair. And they were like, my friend is having sickle cell. Like, I mean, they busted in that hospital making like a scene, and everybody's just like, okay, because it wasn't a gunshot wound or anything, so they didn't take it seriously. And I look completely fine. I look like a 18-year-old girl who just got done having fun. And they were like, okay, sit her over there, fill the paperwork out. And my friends are filling it out because I literally could not, I was in pain all over, couldn't do anything. And I'm telling them my address, and I'm like, help me, crying. So the nurse comes over to me and she's like, you're gonna have to be quiet. Oh, I'm gonna have to be quiet. I got louder. So I got louder, and they pushed me into a room, and she gave me a cup of water, like a little thing of water like this. She was like, here, drink this. Drank the water, and she was like, no, seriously, if you don't be quiet, we're gonna call the cops. So I threw the water, like she had like refilled it, and I threw the water at her. And I was like, call the cops for what? I was like, I'm in pain. Like, you cannot shut me up. Like, this is what I do. I'm in pain. I was like, you need to get me to the back. Like, I'm in pain. You over here arguing with me about being quiet. Like, are you kidding me? Like, I was at a 10. I was real ignorant at that point. I ain't gonna lie to y'all, because there was really no need for me to throw the water on her. But when you're in pain, it'll make you do crazy things, okay? So at that point, when your body is rocking in pain, like, duck if you buck. And I remember her like literally getting the police officer and was like, she threw water on me, she's out of control. And God has everybody there for you at the right time. And I remember my friend just like calming me down. She's like, Keturah, calm down, like, we in Tallahassee, these people don't really care for us anyways, and you know, you just gonna make it worse. Like, I know your body's rocking, but you know, think. So I just calmed down, and I, you know, told her, I was like, I apologize, and I told the officer, I'm sorry, like, I will behave, but I was like, y'all have to understand, like, my body's rocking me and you guys aren't taking me seriously. Long story short, they got me back to the doctors and whatever. But fast forward, my health was still declining because I didn't have a primary care doctor or anything. I wasn't really, because like my primary doctors were in Gainesville. I was in Tallahassee. Gainesville and Tallahassee is about, I want to say 2 hours away from each other. And yeah, I was just letting myself go loose. I wasn't doing doctor checkups. I wasn't checking my hemoglobin. I wasn't doing anything. Like, the only time I was going to the emergency room was that when I had uncontrollable pain. But my health was declining, and my mom was like, yeah, you need to move back home, because I'm not trying to bury my daughter. I got a black dress ready, but I'm not trying to bury you. So like, you know, you can always transfer schools. Like, you know, you gotta stop. And I really had to. Like, at that point I was like skinny mini. I wasn't sleeping. I had broke up with my boyfriend. I was depressed, so I was going through a lot. So hold on, because I feel like I just had a story time and I don't know if I'm addressing your questions. But okay, so yeah, I was just wondering how you manage your, okay, so story time to how I manage my pain, because I went all over the place and I gave you like a backstory. So I went from having a good health, catch you guys up, being in New York, you know, as far as having my mom help me, like not the best health because I was in the hospital a lot, but my mom helping me with that, to being in college and being loosey-goosey and just not really caring and partying all the time. So my health declined, and then I moved back home, and I started to work again. And I think I had took a year off of college at that time. I was like, I just need a mental break. Like, I need a break. So I started to work, and I was working in the Villages, which is like from where I was at that time about a 25-minute drive, 30-minute drive. And with that, how I would prep my body is that I would take my medicine before I would go to work to kind of like coat my body in a sense. And I remember like hiding in the fridge slash freezer and just like having that one server. Like a lot of times you work with your servers, like if you guys have like sections in the same area. It's been about 5 years, hell longer than that, since I've been a server. It's been about like 7 years since I've been a server, so I don't remember the terms or the diction. But like having that tag along server who checks your section, you check theirs. And I would like have that 1 or 2 person that I trusted. Then like my trust started to build up more as I started to get more vulnerable with my sickle cell. And I would let them know, like, if you see me sitting on the bread box or I'm in the freezer, like just let me know. My table should be all good. Because like I told you guys, from being in high school, I learned to work ahead. So I was the type of server that if your drink was like halfway, I came back to refill it. Whether you asked or not, I wanted you to be good. Napkins was stacked. You had everything, every condiments. I don't care if you asked for it or not, you had it. Okay? If I knew that you was having a burger, I was giving you extra pickles, extra onions, extra cheese, extra ketchup, extra mayo. Leave me alone. I'm in the back and I'm sitting down and I'm resting. So that's what I learned to do. If they had a steak, I know to brought a 1 Worcestershire and some dang whatchamacallit, hot sauce, napkin stacked, replaced, refilled drinks. Make sure y'all have bread and butter. Even if you, there would be 2 loaves of bread for a table of 4, just because I'm like, leave me alone. I'm in the back sitting down, I'm taking a break. And that's just kind of how I lived my life. I was a hard worker. I remember my mom seeing my little shoes. It was like this, you know, them black work shoes, y'all. It was like this, bent up, y'all, because I would work so hard for my money. Because as a server, you know, if you work hard, you get paid good. And I was like, I want the money. So it was like, I know I would be cut like at 10 o'clock, and I would take my medicine because it would take like 30 minutes to work. So I'd take my medicine at 9:30 to coat my body again. And I would go home and take a hot shower and then have my warm heating pad. So I started to like prep my body and train my bodies in those way more than ever. I would learn to a lot of times when I took my medicine, it made me feel nauseous. So I'd start to go into work like 30 minutes early and eat, you know, food at my job to coat my stomach. And I would a lot of time have like little crackers in my pocket, or I would drink a lot of Sprite. And I remember my coworkers being like, why you drink so much soda? And I'm like, bitch, because my stomach hurt. But I learned to like, you know, start to drink soda and water. So I started to like help myself more, because my how I trained myself when I was in college, it was really bad. Like my eating, just like partying and everything, it was really bad. So I had to like really like relearn how to treat my body right. And I still wasn't on the holistic path. Like I wasn't eating beets, I wasn't doing all that stuff. I didn't even know about EvenFlo or anything at that time. So let's fast forward into me being like, when did I have my son? I had my son at 24. I got married at 22. I get married 22 or 23. I got married. I don't remember, y'all. COVID just blacked out my memory. And my mom started to do research. Like I had a great pregnancy, thank you Jesus, thank you Lord, no morning sickness, nothing like that. But after my pregnancy, my world got rocked. I had to have a C-section, and the healing process for me was just cray. And now that I'm fast forward 31, I now realize, but that's a different story for a different time. And we'll sit down and talk about that. I'll probably do a separate video too. I want to get these videos out to you guys and get that knowledge in. But with that being said, my mom started to do more research of, you know, holistic things, as she started to like turn from you know, eating meat. So she like became a vegetarian, from a vegetarian to a complete vegan. And yeah, just having a better lifestyle for herself and realizing like, oh my god, this is giving me energy, so what is it going to do for my daughter? And doing that research, because my mom has a hard time falling asleep sometimes. Insomnia runs in the family. My camera, hold on. Okay, so as I was stating, my mom has insomnia sometimes, runs in the family, and she would just stay up and she would literally email me. I would wake up to an email every morning of like, read this article, go on YouTube and watch this. And it started from then, really, my mom. So my mom watches all of my videos, so thank you so much, Mom. I tell you that all the time, but really thank you from the bottom of my heart for doing like the hard work, you know, staying up and researching it and telling me and staying on top of me, because you can lead the camel to the water, but you can't make them drink it. And she be like having my head, drink your water, eat your beets, you don't love yourself. We grew up in a Caribbean household, so my mom's favorite thing to say is, Keturah, how much water did you drink today? And I'd be stuttering. I'd be like, 1 bottle, 1 bottle all day, when the average person has to have 4 bottles. You don't love yourself. No, you don't love yourself. You couldn't. That's what I grew up with. That's what I live with till this day. That's what she says to me. So got my water mouth, got my water, trying to make you proud. And even watching this make me proud. Y'all growing up with Caribbean parents, Jesus, they find something wrong. Make me proud. But love yourself. Yeah, pick me no. Anyways, I love that lady. So yeah, girl. Like I said, I responded to everybody individually, but I was like, let me make a video. And that's what it was for me a lot of times, just learning, doing research, having my mom. And like I said, a lot of you guys probably don't have that person who's going to do the research for you, so you got to do it for yourself, and that's okay. And now that you have me, that's why you got to like, comment, and subscribe. I do the research for you, and I tell you, all you gotta do is watch the video. So I started to learn that beets was the key thing. Beets, red. So I paired it up with, okay, beets, red, blood transfusion, blood. So if I don't want to have a lot of blood transfusion, which I don't have to have it all the time, thank you God, knock on wood, because the devil be listening. I start to learn that, okay, well, my mom learned and then told me, so it's very important to pass that baton. But I started to learn that, okay, I could have beet salad, which is like beets and carrots, and have some ginger dressing over it, or just have the beets by itself. I learned to have started juicing it. And when I was tired, because I ain't gonna front, a lot of times I'll be tired and I don't want to juice, because you gotta juice it and you gotta clean the juice and it's just too much. So I'm like, you know what, let me have roasted beets, because I love that and it's quick. I get to wrap it in foil paper, throw it in the oven for 30 minutes, cut it and eat it, and that is literally like a B12. B12 is something else that I learned worked for me, giving me energy on times where I feel like I don't have energy. Getting that B12, put it under my tongue, wait for 10 seconds, drink some juice or water, and just wait for the energy to kick in, which it will. If it doesn't kick in that day, baby, tomorrow you're gonna be like, I'm every woman. Beets does the same thing. If I don't feel it literally within 4 hours, I'm waking up the next day like, it's a beautiful morning, let's go to the park, poops. So that's what it does for me. Realizing that nutmeg spray, I've told you guys about the nutmeg spray, I have videos about it, but since you're watching this video, it's only right to show you right now. Learning that nutmeg, having the spray, works for me. I'm gonna show you guys like when I do my little shower routine, because I've taken the time to like use shea butter and rub my body and have my heating pad on days when I need it. And I'm not lying to you guys. I'm gonna show you where my heating pad stays all the time. I do not lie to you guys. I'm very transparent. There's no lying here. For what? So I take my spray. My knees are hurting right now, and I'll spray my knees, and that helps me. It's like literally like a portable heating pad. Like it literally says on the bottle, nutmeg spray, arthritis, pain, inflammation of joints, muscular aches and pain, back ache and cramps. So I literally have one of these everywhere in my house. There's one in the bathroom, there's one on my nightstand, there's one in my purse. My family members use it. A lot of things that I use, my family members use it too, because my mom doesn't have sickle cell, but she does have the trait. My brother has nothing. He doesn't have sickle cell or the trait, thank God. And I'll tell you that story too. And a lot of times when people in my family, they have their tummy aches, they knock on my door like, Tora, let me get your spray. What can I say? So I'm passing it on to you guys. Learning that when I'm nauseous from taking my oxycodone or morphine, that it is okay to take, I don't know what it's called. Hold on, let me get the bottle. I should have had this ready, but whatever. I don't know what it's called, but it's like ONDANSETRON. I went to college, I promise, but I don't know how to pronounce words. It's just not gonna happen for me. So learning to take that to coat, or like my mom said, cut ginger and put it underneath your tongue, which I don't do. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I'd rather like drink some ginger tea but I do it if I'm really desperate. I'm like, okay, mom. So like sucking raw ginger, having ginger tea, having chamomile, having mint tea, having my Sprite, because till this day it helps me, just learning to balance with drinking more water. But I rely on Sprite. I ain't gonna hold y'all, I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I drink Sprite like it's going out of style. I should have stocks in Sprite. That's how much I drink it. Everybody knows. If you ask all of my friends and family, what is Keturah's favorite drink soda wise? Sprite and a cola champagne, because I'm Jamaican. What else can I say that's helped me along the years? Let me go back to the, oh, let me show y'all my heating pad. Hold on, because I won't be lying to y'all. Look, so this is my bed is here, and oh shoot, my heating pad, y'all, right there at the side. I'll fix that later. But oh yeah, so learning what works for me. What I like making limeade. Sometimes when I know I need water but I don't really want to drink water, I learned this trick because I went to when I was in New York, I used to go to this thing called Sickle Cell Camp. I'm sure they had like a better name for it, but I call it Sickle Cell Camp because it was full of kids who had sickle cell, or you know, hematology patients, people who had cancer, stuff like that. And y'all, they would have these two big crafters, and one would have water in it and one would have a red drink. And my dumb behind, being young, I always thought the red drink was water, and I never liked water growing up. I thought the red one was juice, and I never liked water growing up. So I always did like, you only had two options. So I was like, red. And I remember taking my first chug thinking it was juice. I was like, this is literally dyed water. You guys just tricked. So they mentally tricked us. But I thank them, because till this day I play those tricks on myself. So if I don't really want water but I know I need to get water in myself, I'll just have limeade. So basically it's just lime with sugar and water, a whole lot of water, or squeezing a lemon. Like, I just need to trick myself sometimes because it's hard to get this bad boy down. Like, I just don't like the taste of water. And I know y'all know, like some of y'all know, like I know water to the T, where it's like I know certain waters that be thick, you know, like I don't like thick water. I know I'm not the only crazy one, but I'm gonna have to make a TikTok about that because y'all be knowing. Follow my TikTok because I'm funny. But yeah, so that's what I did, and I hope this video helps you, you know, just to realize, like, don't stress, take it easy. I know not every day is gonna be easy. It's not. And mentally, you know, you gotta have battles within yourself, and we're gonna do a video because I need to do an update video about mental health when it comes to people who have sickle cell and just in general mental health. But yeah. Oh, my camera's about to die. Ain't no way. Oh my god. Okay, so what am I gonna do? Because I need to get this video out. Let me charge my camera. I'm gonna talk from my phone because that's the only thing I could think of. So I'm so sorry, but I'm gonna talk till I can't talk no more, and then we'll use my camera. Damn, I'm so dumb. So anyway, I hope that helps, girl. So I had two mothers hit me up, okay? And the first mom said, hi, I came across your video on YouTube about hydroxyurea. So I also have a video about hydroxyurea. I'll link it down below. I have a baby who was diagnosed with SS. They are pushing the medicine but wanted to make sure before deciding. I wanted to know how your childhood for you was and how you've been as an adult. SS, you've mentioned Beets and EvenFlo. Do the doctors prescribe it? It is a Pacific brand that makes it. Also, I've been asking doctors about giving my baby vitamins and they keep saying it's not necessary. Any tips for a mom with a 1-year-old with SS? I know that social media doesn't show everything, but you seem that you're living your life, so I assume anyways. I hope to hear back from you. I'm jumbling it together. I had another mom who wrote me, and she said, hi Keturah, I came across your videos on sickle cell on YouTube. Thank you so much for sharing. It is so important and definitely needs to be talked about. My son actually was just diagnosed with SCSS. He is only 2 months old, and I've decided that I wanted to go the natural route. I'm not really a fan of hydroxyurea. Can you share with me the regimens you did as a child, please, and thanks. Hope to talk to you guys soon. So I kind of told you guys about my childhood, and I'll do a video just of childhood, just of adulthood, so it doesn't seem too long. But to answer that question, it's kind of hard for me, and that's why I'm gonna have a sit down with my mom because I don't know what she did as an infant for me. And a lot of you guys literally have babies. Like one is what, 2-year-old? I don't know. one, oh right, so one of y'all have a baby, one is like a couple months old, and I'm 31, so it's a big age gap. But at the end of the day, I kind of told you guys what I did as a child. And you know, it depends where you live too. There's so many things that get thrown in when it comes to sickle cell. Like, do you live in the south where it's kind of warm? Do you live in the north where it's cold and your child has to be bundled up, you know, and you got to keep that child warm a lot of times? And when it's rainy season, like, it's just so much that plays into this, you know. Y'all have babies, so the child's not stressed out yet, which is good. Grow that child in love. The biggest thing I could say right now as a parent who has a child living with sickle cell is to be their advocate. Learn as much as you can, do as much research, and I commend you mothers because y'all are doing the work. Okay, the fact that you're researching my videos, that you're contacting me, lets me know that you're doing the work. So I commend you guys so much, because I can only imagine. Like I said, my son does not have sickle cell, because I made sure, knowing that I had sickle cell, I was like, no, I cannot take care of a child who has sickle cell on top of myself. I could barely take care of myself. So when my ex-husband and I got together, I was like, go get tested because I have sickle cell, and if you got the trait, it was a hard decision, but I'm like, I like you, but I don't love you yet, so we're gonna have to let it go. And he didn't have sickle cell or the trait, and I was like, let's get it out. So we got married, had our child, and this little boy takes care of me like no other. And you know what, I'm gonna have a sit down with my son. I think that's gonna be a really good video to ask him how he feels with having a mom who lives with sickle cell. That's a twister for you guys. So yeah, like I said, just love on that child, be their advocate. Vitamins are going to be crucial. Having them eat healthy, you know, like just when a child is getting into their foods and you give them god dang it, what is it, steamed carrots, and you puree it, that's the word, pureed beets, carrots, you know, sweet potatoes, those are the things you want to give your child. Water, not giving them a lot of juice, and he complains about it all the time. He's like, I can taste the water, mom. I'm like, you're dang right you can. So my son loves water more than me. Like, I always hear him by the fridge like getting water, and that's because I tricked him when he was younger. One of us got to be healthy, son. And my mom, like I said, I know a lot of you guys may not have that, and if you do, lean on them. Lean on your mom, lean on your brother, lean on your uncle, your sister, a friend. Lean on somebody and ask for help. Don't be ashamed to ask for help. Come and talk to me. I'm there. Read books, do research. I know there's not a lot out, which is why I am going to do more, because I realize that people need help. People need real answers, not textbook answers. You know what I mean? Not doctors giving you the same rundown, because that starts to get frustrating. So just to make sure you keep that child warm, surrounded by love. Okay, so my camera officially died, and I told you guys I would do it on my phone. Forgive me, because I never know where to look in my phone camera view. It's crazy and it's uncomfortable. See, my camera died. But like I was saying, because I don't want this video to be too long. I know it was kind of long anyways, and I'm going to make different sections of this stuff. But yeah, surround your child with love. Make sure you're their advocate. Have a little notebook. I can show you guys my notebook. It's somewhere around here, where I write down things about my body, like today was a good day and what I did to make today a good day. You know, I didn't have any stress, or I weighed this much. I constantly am weighing myself to know, you know, what I weighed, or this food made me feel good. I didn't go to bed till what time o'clock. My hemoglobin is at this point. My platelets are this. I have a whole file about myself, being my own doctor, literally. Just getting to know myself, being so in tune with myself, not just emotionally, because I'm emotionally intelligent, but physically. I know what my pain feels like, when it feels like it. I know when I feel off. I know what makes me feel off. So much to know that when I did acupuncture, I knew that was it, and I was like, oh hell no. So just little things like that. Always looking for new ways, always looking for new holistic things, always trying different things. What else can I say that I do? I'm just trying to think, because I really just do the same thing all the time, and I think you just find something that works for you and you stick with it. It's almost like being a naturalista. Like, you try a whole lot of products and you become a product junkie, but eventually you find those products that work for you and you stick with it. So that's your journey with sickle cell. You know what I mean? Finding what works with you, finding the doctor that will listen to you, finding the team that helps you, and you may never find that. And that's okay, because I still to this day don't have a doctor that I love after Dr. Lautenberg. Dr. Lautenberg, if you're watching this, I love you. Oh, I just don't have a doctor like that anymore. They don't care like that. But becoming your own advocate is the best thing. Eating healthy, water, like my mom would say. Eating good and balancing your life. With the good, you have the bad. With nachos, you have broccoli. You know what I mean? With soda, you have water. With rest, you have late nights. So hopefully that helps. If I missed anything, let me know. Like I said, I'm going to be doing other videos where we sit down and talk. I'm going to charge my camera up and get back to it. I love you guys. Like, comment, subscribe. And if you have any questions or you just want to talk and vent, feel free to hit me up in my DMs and I will get to you. Sounds like a voicemail, right? Leave your name and number and I'll get back to you as soon as possible. Thanks for calling and have a blessed day. See you guys later.